know that in Qwik we can create our own custom content types, but what if we want to add some types to one of the basic content types, like a profile? If I click one of these profiles here, you can see that I have a number of fields, like first name, middle name, last name, contact details, things like that every profile has. But what if I want to add some more information? I can use the custom content fields feature. So if we go back to our homepage, we go to system, we go to custom field sets, we can create a new custom field set, and we'll call this education, and we'll choose the source type as a person, and we'll put that up in our IT and systems scope and click save. And if we open up that custom field set, we can start adding fields. So one of the fields you might want to add is something like year level. So I'll add a year level field. We can change the input type to a select drop down. We can add our options: grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Oops. We're getting a bit dyslexic here. Grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6. And if we wanted to as well, we could just leave these values as empty, which means the label will become the value. But if we wanted to, I don't know, change that to a number or something like that, we could have it so that the person could select grade 1 and the number that actually gets saved is 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done that wrong again. 3, 4, 5, and 6, something like that. And then maybe we could do year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, and year 12. And we'll just put in the numbers in here as well: 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that will handle the validation and things like that. So now we've got a year level where we can see we can pick none or any of these ones. And we might leave it so that you can choose none, because we might add teachers in here as well that don't have a year level. And we can add things like major study, just as a text field, and another text field, minor study, maybe institution name, something like that. And we can hit save. And if we click close, we can add a new custom field set. We can call this medical, and we will add this in our IT and systems section as well. Hit save. And if we go to our medical details over here, click fields, we can add allergies, and we can change that to maybe a button input and add a button. So we can have an eggs, shellfish, what's another common one? Nuts, milk, fruit, something like that, and maybe an other. And for the other value, I'm just going to make it lowercase for the value. And the reason why we'll do that is because we can add another field, and we can say other allergies, and make this a text area and expression. And here we can say show if they choose other. Actually, we may want them to pick multiple ones of these, so we'll go back to this field and we'll change the minimum answers to 0, the maximum answers to 0, which means they can pick any of these, however many they want, including other. So if we go to our other allergies, we click expressions, we click show, and we can say if the allergies that they includes other. So if they click shellfish, nuts, and click other, then that other field will appear here. And then maybe down here we can add another field. Maybe we'll add emergency contacts, and I'm going to add that as a group just here. And we can say this is an object and have as many answers. So we'll change the maximum to 0, so you can create as many of these emergency contacts as you want. And you can see there, now we can add fields to these emergency contacts. We can have the name, and then we can have the contact number. And you can see here that now we've got emergency contacts that you can create more of them, and each one of them will have a name and a contact number because they're the fields inside this group. And we can also tick the same line so it looks a little bit nicer, just like that. And now we've got these emergency contacts. We can also add another field. We can say maybe doctor details, doctor's name. Maybe we'll duplicate the emergency contact actually, because it'll probably have the same kind of deal as the doctor name and contact. And what we'll do is we'll make it so you have to have a doctor, and the minimum number of doctors you can have is 1 and the maximum is 1, and we'll tick show label, so it puts this little box around the two things, and we can say doctor's details, and here we can say doctor's name just to be a little bit more explicit, and doctor's contact number, something like that. So we have the ability to add the doctor's details and then add an emergency contact as well if you want. And we can add obviously as many fields as we like, but we'll leave this for the moment. And we'll go back to close. And maybe another one we could do is something like occupational, if I can spell occupational details. And we can choose, put that up in IT and systems as well. Hit save. And the reason why we're putting in IT and systems is because we're actually putting the definition of this field set, like all of the way that this works, into an area that only the IT and systems people can manage. And here we can say occupation, maybe, I don't know, has a blue card, accreditation or something like that. We can change that to a Boolean, has a white card, Boolean. Maybe we could do has completed induction training, something like that. Make that a Boolean, and then we can add another field. We can be in induction training date, and this can be a date. And like what we did before, we can do show this if has completed induction training equals true, and then now it's if they tick that, if they tick that box, it'll pop up, and if they don't, then it won't ask them for the date. So we can hit save. And now what we can do is if we go to our people, find a profile, this Marilyn Bailey profile here. If we click edit, here we'll see education, and here we can put a year level in. We can put a major study. We can say, I don't know, biology. A minor study could be history. Institution name might be UCLA. And we can pick some medical details. Doctor's information, occupation, training dates. And you can see we just saved that information on the profile. Click close. And if we go back to, what was her name? Marilyn Bailey. You'll now see that she's got a timeline, education, medical details, and occupational details.